The way I've understood it is Jesus did three things primarily when he came. He proclaimed the kingdom, he healed the sick, and he cast out demons. And so this is not like a weird, quirky side thing that Jesus did, but it was one of his three mainstays.
And
Which is,
raised people from the dead too, right?
well, that's part of healing the sick. And the truth is that most of us believers don't really proclaim the kingdom because we don't really know what it is, which is fair because it's not the most clear thing. That Jesus didn't spend a lot of time saying, let's point A, point B, point C. There was a lot that they implicit in what they thought the kingdom was, but even they didn't understand the kingdom. Like in Acts 1, he's like, okay, are you restoring it now? And he's like, power's coming, I'll see you. In the last 100 years, there's been a renewal of healing the sick with that part of the big three, and then casting out of demons. If that's the third of the big three, there's been a strong renewal of that, particularly since the 60s, at least in Western Christianity. I think in third world countries, they're doing all this stuff all the time anyway. I would say in general, we're missing it. And one thing I appreciate about Pentecostal churches like Assembly of God or a Vineyard, which is a subset of Pentecostalism, some people call it Reformed Pentecostalism, is this return to the basic imitation of Jesus, which is not just trying to follow the Sermon on the Mount. Although I'm a huge fan of that. In fact, I'm starting 8 weeks on that at church tonight.
Oh, so
but yeah, so deliverance is a big deal. It's, I guess, my very complicated way of saying that.
I did have a conversation with one of my friends in Arizona when I was down there. It's like, please pray for me. They've had a lot of spiritual encounters with mostly negative, mostly probably demons. So I was like, please pray for me because I'm going to talk about this, and I know that there's a potential of opening myself up to attack this. I'm scared of it. It's definitely like a part of why I've never really like even thought about it or really approached it. Even having a dad like you, right? Like I've just been kind of like eyes to it as much as possible because I don't want the attack, but like
it's like a hornet's nest on the side of the house. If we ignore it, it'll go away. And God forbid you go over there. Right? Go over there and poke it, and then you get swarmed. And let's just pretend it's not there, or maybe hire a professional, and we can sterilize the nest.
Like you are. So I think that I ideally after this, I want people to be able to feel confident to address the hornets, right? To be able to go and, if not do that themselves, have a team to thought process.
That's good. I think the biblical worldview is there's angels everywhere and there's demons everywhere. To me, they're like germs in the air. And we can ignore germs and probably get by okay, but eventually you get sick and you have to do something about it. And in modern culture, we've come to understand germs. It's funny that they were always there, but we didn't know they were there until whatever the 1800s. Whoever figured that out. But
Sir Germ. Sir Germ.
Yeah, Billy Bob Germmeister, and so they named it after him.
But they took off the Meister because it makes too nice.
Anti-German bias. So I think they're everywhere. They're like germs, and so either we just ignore them and deal with the consequences of them, or we acknowledge them. But it's a scary thing to acknowledge this because what exactly does that mean? The whole faith world is untouchable anyway. It's stuff we don't see, and then this is the weird part we don't see. But apparently, it's on the surface. It's not too far beneath the surface because people make scary movies and everybody flocks to them. And so the idea of the paranormal or something that might be there, I think that most people suspect there's something there.
Yeah,
it's just untouchable, and it's part of the terrifyingness of it is the unknown.
Yeah.
My perspective is that everybody deals with demonization, like everybody deals with germs. And I actually think it's a part of sanctification, kind of like we're Christians, we're new creations, but we still struggle with sin. And we know that. I also think we struggle with various degrees or levels of infestation, demonic infestation. That's the controversial thing that I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's probably the part that I'm not going to talk about.
Exactly.
Press on me, come wake me from my sleep, and blow through the cavern